Here we go.
What's up, party people, and welcome back to another episode of Dance Specific Talks.
Me
I'm
and
your host,
T-zer,
T-zer.
and I am Coach Sebastian. Welcome on. We've been talking for 45 minutes, so we're just gonna invite you guys because we said, yeah, let's have a little chat before about just life, and then it's like there are some things I don't want to share on the podcast, and then we just spun, and then 45 minutes is like shit, we gotta record a podcast because that is the podcast. We're talking about trust and trusting your partner, whether it's your dance partner, whether it's your life partner, whether it is your whatever, right? And T-zer just shared something. Just I think we can take it off there. T-zer just share the trust. If you would, let me see if I can phrase this. If you would be able to share a little bit about just the trust you feel for your life partner, Malcolm, and you guys building a family. Me and you, we known each other since before you started building a family. We known each other before Malcolm was even in the picture. Um, and Malcolm is, I mean, top 5 of my closest friends. He's right up there. Probably a little like top 3. So, so yeah, share a little bit about that. What is that?
Yeah, so where I started was it's so scary to trust someone because you don't have a lot of examples of trust in like our parents, right? So I mean we all come from divorced parents and they have been more or less present in our life. So from not even present to fully present but still in a divorced state where the the commitment to trusting someone seems to be very hard. It seems impossible because we don't have any examples of that,
Yeah.
right? And I can look to my siblings that could have been my parents. They are older and so on. But there's certain things about their relationships, even though they're married or committed, that wouldn't like match mine. So to trust someone, to find someone, to dare to say I trust you with my brand. Like I trust you with who I am. I trust you
Let me
with
just let me
what
just let me just commercialize this real quick.
no, but like, yeah, like you are a person, you have a set of values. Whoever you choose is going to represent you, no matter how you do it.
I say that all the time. I say that all the time because this is discussions I have at home with my boys, and it's like if you're my woman, like you are equal to my arm. Like this is how much responsibility I feel over you. Like if my arm
Yeah,
slaps someone, that's obviously me. If my woman slaps someone, that's obviously on me. If my arm behaves well, that's on me. That is with me. If she behaves well or bad, that is with me. Why? Because she's an extension of me. I'm an extension of her. So it's like,
exactly.
nah, I'm not gonna do all of the things that I might have done in public without her, obviously, or now when I'm with her, obviously. Why? Because I represent her and I represent her family, and she represents me and my family. You know?
Exactly. It's a huge responsibility and like pressure to make this trust, and at some point, you're gonna have to do it without knowing the outcome. You can just bet
Yeah.
on the best odds, right?
You
And then
know?
over time, you like, oh, this person has never proved me wrong in these
Yeah.
areas, or there has been shortcomings, but we have been like, okay, this is a moment for
Improving.
growth.
We've been
Yes, this is a
improving
moment.
together.
Exactly. This is a moment of growth. We handled it and we're also growing older together. No matter what
Mhm.
age you meet, you're growing older together. So
Yeah.
either you celebrate those changes and see where it's going and daring to trust that even if this person gets a new interest, a new job, a new passion, a new something, that they are excited to go home and talk to you about it and not
Wow.
being something where you lose yourself, you know? And
Yeah.
that is super scary to trust.
Yeah.
And especially if you're doing dancing. And especially if you're doing something where like you
Modeling,
need to,
dancing, you are on stage, just being an entertainer, musician,
you are around
DJ.
beautiful people that are
Yeah.
creative and outgoing and interesting and mysterious and special. Like you, when you're around creatives, it's like you need to trust the person or you just can't trust the person. You know what I mean?
If I
And
do, if I do, of course, of
so,
course, of course.
and then to trust that person to like, I am like a worst case scenario type of thinker in when it comes to relationships because again, that's the only
Can't relate.
experience I have
I can't relate.
because because that's the models, the role models we brought with, right? Um, and so when you give your trust to create a family with someone, you need to know
Wow.
that even if shit goes down, and even if that relationship you two have doesn't work out, you need to be able to trust beyond that. You're talking about
Yeah.
like, I need to know that in 20 years I will know where my child is. In
Yeah. And
20
my child is
years,
safe.
we will be able to be on the same weddings, the same grandchildren birthdays, the same like it's a huge trust thing. However, there it's like when you get it, I wish that for anyone to feel that that moment of like I trusted you and now you're the first thing I see in the morning and the first thing I see before I go to bed and I do all of this and I'm so proud to share that with my family and celebrate
Wow.
those wins. Like
Wow.
for me to show my daughter like my dance videos, she now connects certain songs to, oh, that was the song Mama was dancing to. There are certain songs where we as a family have to get up on our feet because she's demanding every day that we play Mustard by Kendrick Lamar. And that is
Chloe. Chloe Patra. What's
and
that?
turn the TV off, turn the TV off. And she closes her eyes and she just enjoys it. Closes
That's
her eyes and like digs along to this, turn this
wow.
TV off, turn this TV off. And it's like it's like everything I do just suddenly like boils down to this moment. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm
This was it.
so that I'm so grateful to have somebody to
Yeah.
celebrate wins with, to celebrate growth with, and who's somebody who dares to trust me.
Yeah.
And because then I can fly. And the same
That's it.
goes.
Right. That's it. That's
I
it.
can have dreams without limitations because I have somebody who believes in me, who trusts me and supports me. And that is something that I wish for you. I wish that for
Wow.
everyone, you know?
Yeah. I wish that to myself.
Yeah, it's gonna come. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm not
come.
stressing. I'm not stressing, but it's interesting
No,
hearing. I get so happy hearing it. I get so happy hearing it. And
it's
well,
possible. It's
yeah, yeah, of
possible.
course, of course, of course. I mean, I'm not in a lot of humans are in disbelief in love. I'm not in disbelief in love.
No, Mr. Lover
I
Lover. Oh, Mr. Lover Lover.
I
Hey,
even have
girl.
I have tattoos on my body that talks about love, you know? Uh,
Mm-hmm. Tell us about that chest tattoo of yours.
oh yeah, I didn't even refer to that one. I have a few. I have a few. I have the Ankh sign in the middle of my body,
Mm-hmm.
which is a representation. It's a deep representation I can talk about for hours, but it's essentially a symbol for me that represents the balance between masculine and feminine energy, which is something I also refer to in my TEDx talk, and which is something I just navigate the world with because I truly believe between unity between men and women. I believe that is the purpose. I think that is what we should strive for, right? And connect and
Mm.
talk and understand that and give spaces and yeah, like I said, I can. And then there is like you I can dive into African spirituality and I can talk deeply about this when it comes to the Ankh sign, but just for the sake of this, I also have the I have love will never leave us alone. In the darkness there must come out light. I have that in my on my ribs, or my stomach rather, lower part of my
And
stomach.
it's so funny that I thought about your grandparents, the photo.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah.
first thing that came to
How
me,
was
like a
it?
romance because of the romance. Because like talk about it, the photo you tattooed. I think it's such a good one. It's such a good
I,
one.
I have my it's actually my I have my great grandparents tattooed on my chest and they're kissing each other. So my grandfather was tall. My great grandfather, so my mother's grandfather was a very tall man. He's bigger than I am. and he sits and he holds my great grandmother, and she leans around like this, and they kiss each other. And I found it at my grandmother's place, and on the card, behind the card, it says 1941, the in loved. So I've also tattooed, but in Swedish. So I also tattooed the in loved. So I have a Polaroid here.
Mm.
And then yeah, so it's like that is just then I have my family here also. So like I only have love tattoos basically.
Such a love, I
But no,
love
I
it.
don't, I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't. On this side,
Oh.
it's my, so I have Malcolm X tattoo. I have my crew tattoos, which is obviously I love them also. I have Cape Verde, which is obviously I love. But on this side of my body, I have more the African side of me, and on this side, I have more the things that I got from my mother. But and on top of that, I also have a Cape Verdean woman making traditional food on my ribs with a baby on her back. So I have that
Mm.
also. So there's a lot of love tattoos.
Oh.
But that
Yeah, that's
feeling
so
that you're
nice.
saying, the feeling that you're expressing, Peter, I think exactly that is, and I'm talking from a man's perspective. I believe that's what men want, like that thing.
Mm.
Like I'm telling you, as somebody who's been like I've lived with women, no, alone and in group settings, but like what you're talking about when you're talking about that, wow, like trust and understanding and of course working through it, like I have most of us have no idea what you're talking about, like that feeling of I can fuck up out there and I can come back and I can share it and I can get support and work through it, or I have this win and I just want to, call and share. Like no idea what that is. No idea.
Mm.
No idea. And it's cool. It's cool. It's gonna come, but like majority of us have no idea what the fuck that is. The majority.
Yeah, I
So it's
just
very
heard like I heard once that it's like as simple as women want safety and men wants peace. And maybe there's something to it. It's obviously way
yeah.
deeper. But I do think initially we all want peace.
Yeah.
We all want peace. And peace for me, I never saw that in my parents' relationship. I never saw peace. There was
You know?
always war. Like
Yeah.
from the earliest memories I have of them, but also like through that terrible divorce.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Now you say it, now I remember
It's
that. Yeah.
like, yeah. And then after not talking since the cut, like never talk again,
Yeah.
always avoid, always like on your guard, and just like, whoa, like I don't know peace. Inner love, like I never saw that. It's
Yeah.
the most highly valued currency for me.
Yeah.
Peace. And what gives peace of mind? That I can be honest, that I can, and that I won't be judged for that honesty. That men, this is something I talked about on my last class actually last week. What does it mean to be a safe woman? We always talk about what it means to be a safe man for women. So when you type in safe woman, you basically is like, how can you be safe from men? And I was like, that's not what I meant. How can I be a safe woman? To men, but also to other women.
You know?
And being safe to men was like the only thing I found, which it was like I just searched on YouTube. I couldn't find nothing. How can women be safe to men? How can I take some accountability? Because I can tell men to change. Like I'm
All
fucked
you
up
want.
all
Yeah.
you want, but I can't change men. I can change, I can talk to the men I have around me. I can
That's
address
it.
things, but at the same time, like so what can I do? How can I be safe for them? You know? And the only thing I found was men find it very hard to be vulnerable. And what happens is just what happens with women. Women feel like it's more vulnerable to be intimate. And then later on, if they have been intimate with someone, they get thrown that back in their face, like you're a slut or you like this and that. Men feel very hard to be vulnerable because a lot of women use that against them later.
And the worst thing with just that is that the same or the sad no, it's not the worst, but it's the sad thing is that a lot of women are so loud about exactly this. And it's like, and especially here in Cape, I'm referring not only to my Cape Verdean community, but in general. It's like the women are very loud with saying, but like, but you are this and you do that and you call us this, you call us that. But and we spoke about it previously, but for a lot of people, now we're referring to women, there is a lack of self-accountability. It's like,
Mm.
no, I cannot talk to you, and you know your man is not feeling safe. Why? Because you
Mm.
react so aggressively, and then you use it and you throw it back at him, and like, oh no, but we have tried, na na na, but then move on, like leave him, let him be, or don't. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, make a choice. And when it comes to men being vulnerable, like, it's something that is hard for us. And it doesn't come down to like, oh, but we were raised and meh, meh, meh. It's like, yeah, but like, it just is, and we can either accept it or you cannot accept it, right?
Mm.
And it's
Mm.
exactly the same thing. Opla. It's exactly
Hopla.
the same thing when it comes to it's exactly the same thing when it comes to the simple fact that a lot of women again feel it's hard to connect with men, but
Mm.
it's same but different. But infelichment, like, unfortunately, women's voices, I believe, get heard or gets respected here, and I don't feel that men's does that for a lot of cases, a lot of times.
Mm.
And it's a work in progress, it's a work in progress for all of us. um
It is, but it is still an interesting thing because, like,
Very.
again, we're talking about how can men be safe for women, and that is
Yeah,
great because we didn't have the safety
good.
for a long time. So, and
Exactly,
we
right.
still don't, and we still don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For many times, but I cannot. What am I supposed to teach that on my lady styling where I only have women? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
What can I? What can we do? You know, if you don't have your own son that you can foster to be a good man, then what can you do? And I think that that space holder for vulnerability, and again, not use that against somebody who has been vulnerable in a later
Yeah.
stage and call him weak and call him, not man enough or
And
like,
it's not even words,
yeah,
T-zer. It's also
no,
like looks and like behaviors, and it's like,
yeah,
you can do this. It's like, you only talk. Like, you always talk about things you're gonna do and then never do it. It's like, but what was the purpose of you saying that? It's
yeah,
like,
then,
like, that is such a normal thing. Like, so many times I've had men come and say like, yo, I really wanted to do this, but like my woman shut me down. I was like, what? What do you mean? And they're like, yeah, I like to talk, So I was home and I said like, hey, like, I really want to start this clothing brand, like, nah, I got excited. And she goes like, you don't know nothing about, you don't know nothing about fashion, or like, you always talk, you never do things. It's like, oh, but no, but Sebastian, this is the fifth time you mention an idea. It's like, but yeah, and now I never going to mention any idea again. Why? Because I don't, like, why would I?
yeah,
Like, you're not,
exactly,
that was not worth sharing. Like, I felt
exactly.
good, now I feel bad, right?
Mm.
And that is such a normal thing. That's such a normal
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's
And
like,
that's something I also had to learn to ask for because, again, men are not trained to share. Like women are trained to share. We share all the time, everything, all the time. It's like more than we should. And we are trained to share. As soon as something happens, we call each other. You know what I mean? And for you guys, I always feel that like, oh, they have a lot to say if we ask, and not asking from an investigational purpose, but ask out of like, I am really curious about your job. That's something I had to learn to be curious about because Malcolm works within tech and I don't know anything about it. I'm not interested. It looks like Matrix to me every time he has his work computer on. And it's literally that. And he's like into it. And you look and it's just green and purple numbers. And you're just like, it is Matrix. It just moves. And all that to be said, I still needed to find a way to be interested in what he does 9 hours a day. If I am never asking
nine
that,
hours per day,
9
9 hours
hours per
per day.
day, he's coming home like he's doing 36 hours on 4 days. If I don't ask and like involve myself in that, we're going to be distant. At least I don't care about exactly the technicalities of what you do, but I want to ask about like your colleagues and how is it going? Is there a conflict? Like how are you managing that? You're a manager. Like what does that teach about you? Like if you're not like I'm interested in this. I don't work in an office job. Like I need
I'm
to
interested
be
in you. What the
I'm
fuck? Like,
interested in you, and your
yes.
growth because it's happening there.
Yeah, can't relate. Can't relate. Never had what you're explaining right now. That thing, like, how was that? I have no idea what that feels like, but it sounds
But
amazing.
It needs to be an
Amazing.
interest, because otherwise, what
Yeah.
if he never asks about my stuff? What? Like, if I don't
I know
share that with
I know
you,
how that feels. I can tell you how that feels. I can tell you how that
this
feels.
feels like you're doing it for like, there's no like, you're not proud of me. You don't recognize that the hours I do mean something. It's not about
Yeah.
the pay. It's about like
This is what I
investment
do.
of energy and time. If you're
Yeah, but
not interested
this is
in
what
that,
I
then
do.
you don't love me, essentially, right?
Yeah,
The full
yeah.
part of me. You love a part of me that is convenient for the relationship to move on, but this not the growth is happening somewhere else. So if you're not going to grow apart, then grow with that person by knowing that.
Yeah,
So I wish that for you.
I appreciate it.
Wow, what a talk. We
I
just
appreciate it.
rambled on here. For the listeners about dance specific talks, we have not been so dance specific
It's okay.
in
It's
this
okay. Let's move
in
that
this
soul. Let's move
episode.
that soul. It's one of those
Damn.
podcasts. It's one of those podcasts. It happened. It was a natural
Yeah.
invitation. Because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same, all the same thing is like we're talking about. You need to feel that same thing with partners. You need to feel the same thing with your dance partner. Like if not, if you don't feel these type of like, don't if you don't feel this type of, if you don't recognize what T-zer just said, and it's like I trust you, and it's not I only trust you here. It's like I trust you to respect me on the dance on in when I'm changing clothes next to you. I trust you to be the guy I share bed with, even if I have a partner. I respect that you respect me, or I what do you say? I respect that you. I trust that you respect me too. You know, if we are in China and someone is going after me, you are my guy. Like you are my it's you are my
Yeah.
protector, right? Like no, you, no one else. They try to, now you go deal with this,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, and that are some questions that I am very interested to ask and think about right now, because maybe in the next episode I will be able to reveal to you a partnership.
uh, uh,
And with that being said, it's almost like I want to write like a vow, like
exactly.
wedding
No,
vow,
very clear
because
principles, very clear
yeah,
principles. These are the
because
principles.
it's also about like what I offer to a
Mhm.
partnership, but also what I expect from a partnership. And again, like for women who is in the scene, you're like your partner is now just in the regular relationships is now your brand, is now your safety, is now your protector, is now somebody who will people will associate with you, so the
Keep
person
talking,
rather
keep
have the
talking.
same values. So yeah, these questions about partnerships, it's values that goes into dance partnerships, definitely. And yeah, I am very excited to see about that. And if I am revealing this new potential partnership, I will definitely bring that person on to the podcast so you get a reveal here. That would be
Come
fun.
on, come
Yeah, that
on.
would be fun.
Why am I so
And
blurry? Keep going.
yeah, it's okay. Maybe you wanted to hide your romantic tears coming down. The romantic boy. Talking about romance.
Let's not talk about romance too soon.
Okay, we save that for another episode.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. No, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I know what's happening with my camera, though. I don't know what's happening with my camera.
It's okay, you're gonna have to be on your computer camera, because
Yeah, okay.
you look like you little junkie. This blur.
It's okay. Okay, keep going. I'm here.
Uh, anyway, so we are going to move that soul, I believe, and uh, I am going to pull a question for you.
Let's go.
Uh, it's so funny because certain questions I know that I've already asked, and so I want to like shuffle it up and find something that we haven't talked about. Ooh, because we talked about relationships. How does
Um,
dance affect your relationships?
Jeez. How does dance affect my relationships? Like all relationships?
Up to you.
Um, Let me see. How does dance? Dance. affects, first of all, my relationship with myself. That's the first thing. So it definitely affects a lot who I am, how I exist in the world, and how I. It's not even dance. It's just it's movement, right? It's dancing, it's movement, it's training, it's how I exist in the world is from a point of art. So I see things from an artistic perspective and as a creator. And how does it affect so it helps me to navigate in the world, to being able to dance and use training and music and exercising and being able to just, go through things, heavy things and light things also, and how does it, say the question again.
How does dance affect your relationships?
And then relationships with partner, I listen to a lot of music. Just existing and listening to music is a big thing of me. It's how no, I'm not. It's how where I find peace is where I find energy is where I find knowledge and meditations through just being and listening to music. And when I had partners or a partner rather, which I don't have right now, like just these moments, the moments of just existing together, and one person is doing one thing and one person is doing something else, and you're what are you doing? We're existing and listening to music. That is the purpose of this, like existing together. And when there is nothing more beautiful than one person doing something and I'm doing something, and then you just meet, and then there is a dance. There is a kitchen dance or a living room dance, which is a couple of 8 counts, and then just continue going back to where you were, right? So dance or music and dance means a lot. It's everything.
Mm. And if the person that you're with doesn't like have the same interest, it's going to affect that relationship.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a professional dancer at all. Like
No.
I don't need to be at all together with a
No.
professional dancer. But we must like music. If we don't like music, if I have this song and I or you have this song and it triggers energies inside of you and you want to share it with me and I don't understand that, it's like, oh, that's strange, or like she don't understand that, like there will be a mismatch. It's almost like being with someone that is like deeply religious. It's like, oh, which, like, what religion? Oh, this very very specific religion. This is this book and this thing here. This very one is everything, nothing else than these teachings that I have. It's like, okay, I don't come from that point of view, so I can see that being at least a situation that we need to address, like
Mhm.
in the first couple of dates.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
it's
know?
crazy though, right? Also, like, imagine you were with a person who's like, hey, can you put on headphones? And like
Yeah.
you would just be like, oh, it's also about the sharing music, that
Yeah, it's
it's
huge.
the,
It's huge.
it
It's
like
huge.
to have like a home that is filled with music rather than two people with two headphones each listening to their own, because you're not
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
same
yeah.
vibe. The
No, 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 no,
vibrations are
no,
not the
no, no, no,
same.
no, no, no. If we don't
And
listen, like,
also, if we don't listen to the same music style, it will affect us.
I can learn to, but it's like, imagine if I meet someone that likes hard heavy metal, like hard style heavy metal, to the same extent that I love reggae and that I love African music, there is gonna be a problem. And always want to
Exactly.
keep have loud music at home and like wants to like, okay, shit, like, nah, it won't slide, it won't slide. I
Like it
think that
will
I think
disturb the vibrations,
Of
right? Like it,
course, of
yeah.
course. I'm listening to Egyptian. I'm listening to, I'm listening to Mayra. I'm listening to Mayra Andrade.
Yeah.
Tapa front, like it's a morning, it's morning coffee. There's mango season. Listening to Mayra, and you're out there listening to like fucking heavy metal, heavy metal, hard style. It's
Or
like, yo, it's
hard
got
techno.
hard techno,
Oh,
like it's good,
ugh.
and you're like, oh, Sebastian, can you should to put on this song instead? Hale? No, fam. I think music style is like me sharing music with you. It's a love language. Like I listen to this song and I share this music with you. It is a love
Exactly. You
language.
need to hear it. Put it in your
Listen to
ears.
it. Listen to it. Like I send so much music to friends. I send so much music to friends and people I love. Like you and me, we shoot music to each
Yeah.
other all the time. But like, if you know, like you didn't felt that, like you didn't felt life. Do you? But like, did you hear that part? Yeah, I heard that part. But you didn't feel nothing. Like
We're not the same.
you
Cannot be
heard Chronic
friends.
singing. You heard Chronic singing like Queen Cleopatra, Queen Omega, Nefertiti, are you I a feature? Da 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 beautiful. Cause you're my queen, majesty.
Majesty.
And you didn't feel nothing? Nada. No. A ver, credo. We're gonna have a problem.
Credo.
Que te funciona. It
Oh,
doesn't work. It wouldn't work, fam. I tell you.
that's so funny. That's so
It
funny.
wouldn't work. But it's
Okay,
true
so we
though.
have just established you need trust and the same music style, or at
Music
least
style.
close, close enough. Yeah,
Hey,
close enough.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I think same music style. It almost goes before like same. Imagine you go to a concert. Imagine you go to Stephen Marley. You know, they can't. Imagine you go to Vibes Cartel. You like Vibes Cartel has been to jail for 13 years, like world boss, like the Gully God. Oh, like even that, like Gully God is Movado, but like whoever. And imagine you have tickets to Vibes Cartel and you have to bring your partner. But it's like you have to bring your partner because you need to drag that person there. It is not this like, hey babe, I got tickets to Vibes, and it's like, no way! Like that's the reaction I expect.
Do I have to?
Ah, like we need to stand in the back. Like we need to sit down. Sit down at a
Or
concert.
or this
Get paid
or
to sit down.
or this one. Who?
Ooh.
Who?
Oh man.
I swear. Anyway, pull me a card, or should I pull one for
Yeah,
myself?
she's I pull a card. Sorry, I pull a card. I pull a card. I pull a random card here. Here we go. This is not a good one. Do I want to hear this one? This is cool. This is a cool one. Let's change the topic a bit. What helps you hear your inner voice? That's a great one.
Oh, it's so funny because the intuition has got so much stronger lately.
Ooh,
It's
your
like,
mother. You
yeah,
give birth.
maybe,
You created
maybe
life.
that is because now it's like if it's a no, it's like a physical no.
It's like,
It's
fuck, you
like
know.
it's like I'll get you nauseous if you even think about doing it anyway. Like it's strong. It comes from like a urkraft. It comes from like an
The
ancient type of
core. It comes from the center.
core, and it stops me. Like it stops me physically to do certain choices. Like I was gonna
Interesting.
change the daycare of my daughter, and I got to this place, and it's picture perfect. Great garden, great teachers, great toys. I couldn't do it.
Is something.
I, there's something. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is. I can't just tell you as soon as I think about that daycare, I get nauseous. And it comes
Wow.
from like behind my solar plexus. And so it's
Wow.
like physical now in a sense of
Whoa.
if I don't, I need to tell this person this, or I will like, yeah.
That's some shit. Okay.
It doesn't
Wow.
come that often, but if, with important stuff.
But
Like,
has it come
yeah.
more frequently since you gave birth?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
I would
then
say
well, there
so.
you go. That's the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. I
That's the
don't,
answer.
yeah, it's,
It's
I
that
guess it's
divine
like,
feminine that they refer to.
yeah, and my life has centered me to my home and to my own space and a lot of much more alone time, just simply because I am a parent now.
Yeah.
And I have never had this much alone time in my life. So it could also be that it's just louder now because I don't have anything else to distract myself, like not as much, you know. So I guess it's a combination,
Exactly.
absolutely. And what helps me hear it, well, I have like not had to ask lately. It's like I don't have to ask what I feel so much. It's just like a very clear, yes, it flows, and it flows so well. Or it's like, no, 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 no,
This
no,
ain't
no,
it.
no,
No, this ain't
no.
it.
So it's kind of easy to navigate, actually.
That's so
It's
beautiful.
yeah, it goes
I,
quickly.
I think that is something that happens when you go through different, when you level up spiritually, which is what
Mm,
you do, I'm assuming, when you are becoming a mother, because I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to just motherhood. But
mm.
I mean, it has to, right? Like you are literally creating life, so it has to be that.
And
Uh,
I've also got asked for help to tune into my spirituality in the sense of I've gone to people now that are like more spiritual themselves, and um, they have also helped me see stuff. You know, I don't see spirits, I don't hear spirits, and my ancestors. I am not gifted in that way yet, or cultivated that gift. I don't know. Maybe we are all born, you know.
we shall see.
But I do think that certain people have skills, just how we all have different skills. And I've also got some more help with that part, and I've got some really, really nice guidance. And that
Wow,
comes from me knowing that I am protected and that I have people that are watching over me.
that's
And
beautiful.
just to get that confirmation, I think we all maybe know it, but just to get it confirmed in different ways, it heals certain parts. And
Of course,
yeah,
I recognize that feeling. I recognize it. So it's like it. If you, the one who feels it knows it. I truly believe that in many senses. If you feel it, you know it. If you don't feel it, if you don't know, if you don't understand why someone would leave a super successful like a super successful dance career and modeling career and moving to Africa to do what? Like to be with my grandmother and get to know my roots. If you don't understand that, that's okay. Because if you've never felt it, you have no idea what it is. And a lot of you meet a lot of people in Cape Verde that are on very similar journeys. I'm referring to myself now, of course, but like I met so many people that are on this back to Africa movement and journey and have that and had that ancestral calling. And if you don't feel it, you don't know it, and that's okay.
but
And it will be that you are like a crazy person, and that's cool. That's good.
mm,
And then I
mm,
so I can recognize that feeling like you're saying, it's like it's a core thing. It's like this is right, this feels right. And if it and if you can't relate to that, that's cool, but this is just how it is. And that is for me, moving to Africa was that spiritual up leveling up. And again, was just to close the circle, then having a child, I can imagine that
mm,
that's even more, because I can feel that feeling of just like, nah, this ain't it. I'm not gonna do this. Why? I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. So I'm not
mm.
gonna do it. Why? I'm just gonna trust this voice. This voice is what got me here, and it's how I navigate in life, and it's the artistic, creative, intuitive, divine, whatever, ancestral, whatever you want to call it. It's that thing, and I'm gonna trust it. And if that means that I don't get where I should get, then why am I hearing it? Like why? Then why does it feel right? Like, isn't that what it is, right?
Yeah, because we don't know what we're doing, right? So we're just following whatever feels the most right. We're just trying to
Yeah,
figure out what feels the most right. And I think that to answer your question in a short way, what makes me help me hear my inner voice is to honor it more often
there you
because
go.
it shows up more often then.
Yeah,
And I remember like I'm not a good I'm not a big book reader for the people who knows me, but I used to be once upon a time, and I remember reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and in that
classic.
book, yeah, classic, and in that book they have this thing of like this I think it's like a vegetable seller or something like that who had a dream, but because he didn't listen to it, like the voice stopped saying it. The dreams stopped calling because you never took action on
Entertained
it.
it.
And
Never entertained it.
so I guess you hear your inner voice way better when you honor it and you follow it and you make small choices to get you at least to that direction, you know.
Dreams like to live. It's how I say it. Dreams like to live. They exist in a different space, and if a dream catches you catches a dream and it's vibration and you don't entertain it, it's gonna go somewhere else,
Mm,
and someone else is gonna catch it because it wants to manifest itself. It's like
mm,
it energies. It's almost like beings that Because so many times we said like, but that was my idea. I wanted to do that. And it's like, but it's not a coincidence that the two of us thinks about the same thing, and then one executed on it, and that became manifested itself. So they exist in a different space where we connect. And if we're able to connect with that and that voice, like you're saying, the more it's like, how do you become good at meditating? You're meditating. The more you meditate, the better it's going to get. It's a skill. Listening to your internal dialogue and listening to your internal voice and your inner calling, it is a skill that you have to cultivate, and that is a practice. So you have to continue to cultivate it and continue to practice it and continue to practice it. And you're gonna feel, but you might hit a wall. It's like, but I listened to that voice. No, no, no. It was a different voice. It was a different voice, because you heard that and you heard that. But this one was very similar, so you get tricked. And then you just got to keep on going. You just got to keep on going to continue to honor it and cultivate it and take action through it, and you shall become.
And you shall become.
That's it.
That could have been a starting point of a whole other sidetrack. So I think that we should stop it now, because
so
I
too.
am otherwise I'm gonna sidetrack away.
That's
But
it.
I think we have covered a lot in this podcast already, and I'm very interested to hear what people think of this episode, because it's just a little different.
A little
And
bit.
next week we're gonna have a new guest, so we're back
That's
on it.
awesome. We're back on it. We're back on it, guys. Talk to you soon. Love.
Yes. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world, because we read all of it.